Welcome to Total Freedom TV. Free your mind, free your time, free your life, so that you can do what matters most. My name is Christopher Duncan, and it's so great to have you watching this, because I know if you're watching this, you are somebody that wants to be able to do what matters most to you in your life. Now, today I'm going to talk to you about having a champion mindset, and I'm wearing this top for a reason. If you don't know what this top's all about, this is an All Black jersey, and the All Blacks are a team from New Zealand, a rugby team. Now, they have a winning record of over 93% over the last decade, which is fantastic. I mean, that means more than 9 out of 10 times they're beating other teams. Now, we're not just talking about other teams that are, no good. We're talking about other countries. We're talking about the Australian team, the English team, the Scottish team, French team, South African team. 93% win rate, which is just phenomenal. I mean, this win rate is better than the New York Yankees, the LA Lakers, and any other team that you think of as true winners. The All Blacks are fantastic. They play the game rugby. They're from New Zealand, and New Zealand's a very, very small place. There's only 4 million people there, and they're playing against massive countries that have so many more people and have more people to play the game. Yet this team keeps winning, and everyone asks, why do they keep doing? Why do they keep winning? So I coming from New Zealand, it being my home country, I know why they keep winning. And I want to talk to all of you about how you can start to understand what a real, true champion mindset is. And here's what a champion is for a definition. A champion is somebody that doesn't just win once, they win again and again and again. The All Blacks just won their second in a row. They've won 3 times the World Championship, but they just won it back-to-back, the World Cup. And this is a real World Cup. This is something where the whole world is in and playing. It's huge. I think it's the 4th or the 3rd most watched World Championship or most watched TV thing after the Olympics and the Football World Cup and the Super Bowl. I think it's right up there. I might be wrong. Now, I want to talk to you about what I've observed about why this team wins. I mean, we have less players, we have less money, we come from a much smaller place, but yet we keep winning. Now, the first thing is that they train with the best. And what I mean by that is a lot of people, they go and practice or they go and prepare. Well, if you're in the All Blacks, there's only 22 people that are in the starting team, but then there's a whole range of others that are coming in. In fact, they have squads of 45. And so the first thing is what they say is that in training, they train against the best, therefore they're always becoming the best. And I think this is the first thing, is that your environment is going to define how good you become. So that competitiveness, I reckon, and this is what I believe, that the All Blacks training and the way that their training practices are actually more competitive and harder than the games they play on the weekend against other countries. And so that's the first thing, is that you want to be surrounded by people that are always pushing you to be better, so that when you're actually out there in the real world and you have to go do it, really, it's actually easier than in training. So make your training, make your practice harder than what it is when you're actually playing. And I think that's one of the first things about the All Blacks. The second thing is the jersey and what it means to them as a person. There's no greater thing as a New Zealander than to be able to wear the All Blacks jersey. And only 15 people get to wear it that day. There's 15 people on the squad. And so I think one of the reasons why they're so good is as a country, we know that if you've got that jersey on, if you've got the responsibility, or if you get to do it, then that is a huge honor. And so I think there's a lot of pride behind it. It's not just, they're not just getting paid, it's not just a sport, but I think it's the why. I think it's the pride of what they're doing. And so I think we could take a lot from that, of being absolutely proud of having the opportunity of whatever it is you get to have. The next thing is, the third thing that I really notice is they're obsessed, and our whole country is obsessed with this sport. And so I think that one thing you can really take from the All Blacks is to be completely obsessed by what it is that you're doing, or what it is you're becoming, or who you're being. And I think obsessiveness and a real compulsion. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger says this as well, is that for him, when he became successful at bodybuilding or in politics, it was a true obsession, a healthy obsession where it's single focus. And I think that's massive for them. Another really big thing that I see from the All Blacks, if you haven't seen them before a game, is they do something called a haka, which is basically it gets them into state. And No other team gets to do this, and frankly, it's probably quite unfair that we get to do something like this. And you guys should definitely have a look at it. But the way they prepare before the game and the ability to be able to actually start and get themselves in such peak state that they know they're going to go out there and win, because they bring in all of those that have been before them and really put it into their body with, using their body with some real, vocal cords and all this sort of real intensity right before a game. I think it's massive. But I think most of us don't prepare ourselves as well as we could. And so when I look at a champion mindset, the last thing that the All Blacks say is they say, good men make good rugby players. And they really look at the whole part. So they give time off to spend with family. They have weekends to themselves, and they really look at themselves as a whole, or players as a whole. And I think sometimes, even though we get obsessed about something, we need to realize that the whole thing matters. And good people make good businessmen. Good people make good rugby players. Good people make good everything in life, whatever it is that you're wanting to achieve. And these are 5 big tips that I see from the champions of champions, the All Blacks, who absolutely smash it. And I just want to dedicate this video to a guy who's just passed away this year. His name's Jonah Lomu, and he's one of the great All Blacks, one of the great rugby players, and what a legend growing up watching him being the most humble champion that I know. And so that's one of the last things about what the All Blacks do and about being champions, is they're just completely humble. When they win, the first thing they do is they go congratulate the other team and they thank them for the game, and they're there. Even when they lose, they still understand that anything can happen. So they're not attached, I guess, to the outcome. That's not where they get their ego from. And so this is Total Freedom TV today. I hope that you thoroughly loved it. I'm coming from beautiful California, South California, where I'm spending some time here. And I hope that you're having an amazing day. I hope that you smash it. Leave your comments below. Subscribe to this channel.